space to think deep thoughts. My thoughts are all over the place. So am I. If you're bullet journaling, then you've already begun. By keeping different types of logs, you're not only organizing your responsibilities, you're also documenting your thoughts and actions. It's a passive form of reflection. All you need to do now is transition at your own pace from passive reflection to active reflection. Daily reflection. Throughout the day, you're using your daily log to simply capture your thoughts. Now, it's just a matter of coming back to them. That's what daily reflection is designed for. It allows you to book bookend each day with two dedicated types of active introspection. AM reflection, a time to plan in the morning or before you dive into your day. Take a few moments to sit down with your bullet journal. If you're one of those people who wakes with a mind swelling with thoughts, now's the time to relieve the pressure. Offload anything that's bubbled up overnight. Clear your mind to make room for the day ahead. For those of you breakfast zombies, the AM reflection helps get the gears turning. Next, review all the pages of the current month to remind yourself of any open tasks. This helps you focus and clarify your priorities and plan accordingly. You'll step into your day with confidence, clarity, and direction. PM reflection, a time to review, where the AM reflection favors planning to gear up for your day. The PM reflection leans toward review to help you unwind before you go to bed. Sit down with your bullet journal and scan what you've logged throughout the day. Mark completed tasks with an X. If a task is missing, write it down. Write it down. Again, you're unburdening your mind. Once your journal is updated, bring your attention to each item individually. Here's where you begin to ask, why is this important? Why am I doing this? Why is this a priority? And so on. This will help you surface distractions, strike out the tasks you deemed to irrelevant. Finally, take a moment to appreciate your progress. Acknowledge the ways in which you've won the day. The PM reflection can be a wonderful way to decompress before you sleep, relieving stress and anxiety. through a sense of progress, prepared, preparedness, and purpose. Purpose tip: you can use your daily reflection as your daily digital detox window. After your PM reflection, implement a screens off policy that lasts until you complete your AM reflection the following morning. It's simply a way to get yourself into the habit of unplugging monthly and yearly reflection through migration. Technology is always moving us toward a more seamless existence. The less friction, the better. That's great when you're ordering pizza. You don't really need to understand all the miraculous tech that allows that hot, cheesy goodness to appear out of thin air at your doorstep. Companies, however, often comes at the expense of undress, un, under, understanding. Expense of understanding often comes at the expenses of understanding. The last time you spend examining things, the less you know about them. When it comes to understanding how you spend your life, it's important to slow down and take the time. Migration is designed to add the friction. You need to slow down, step back, and consider the things you ask yourself with. On the surface, it's an automatic filtering mechanism designed to leverage your limited patience. If something is not worth the few seconds it takes to rewrite it, then chances are it's really not important. In addition, handwriting triggers our critical thinking, helping us draw new connections between thoughts. As you migrate each item, you give yourself a chance to identify unconventional relationships or opportunities by holding each item under the microscope of your attention. For everything we say yes to, we're saying no to something else. Migration gives you an opportunity to recommit to what matters and let go of what does not. As Bruce Lee once said, it is not daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. Hack away the unessential. Consistency. If often asked how much item I spent on daily reflection, on average, I usually devote 5 to 15 minutes per session. It's not about how much time it takes. It's about being consistent. If you find yourself failing to check in much or as little time as you need to make it part of your daily routine. The goal is getting into the habit of checking in with yourself. Ask small whys. Over time, you get better at answering these questions. You're refining your beliefs, your values, your ability to spot your weaknesses and your strengths. Slowly but surely, you start to weed out distractions, which results in you steadily becoming more present and aware. Awareness, in his beautiful commencement speech, this is order at Kenyon College, author David Foster Wallace talked about the day-to-day and how the so-called real world will not discourage you from operating on your own default settings, because the so-called real world of men and money and power hums along quite nicely on the bibble of beer and contempt and frustration and craving and the worship of self. He's talking about how, if we're not careful, we can start to go on autopilot, which can greatly diminish our experience of the world. During reflection, we get in the habit of switching off our autopilot by examining our experience. This form of inquiry requires us to ask questions and not take things at face value. It encourages us to think about ourselves and the world in a more considered way. Through consistently engaging with our experience, we become aware that even the dullest moment can have a heightened depth. As you cultivate your awareness, it will actually be within your power to experience a crowded, hot, slow, consumer hell type situation as not only meaningful but scared on fire with the same force that leader starts compassion, love, the subsurface unity of all things. Summary: when you go to the optometrist, you're asked to read symbols of a chart through a large metal device filled with lenses as known as a photocopter. As you read, the optometrist switches lenses, asking you which brings the symbols into focus. Is it better now? Click how. About now. Click. The purpose is to find an array of lenses that alters the way light hits our routines so that we may see with greater clarity. When it comes to living a more intentional life, reflection functions as a forruptor. Forruptor. It's the mechanism that helps improve our perception. But in order for it to work properly, we need to add the lenses. It's likely you already have some of your own, like your values and your beliefs. Reflection, however, is a rich and ancient practice. Each tradition offers its own lens through which we can correct our short-sightedness and sharpen our insight when we reflect. In the chapters that follow, I'll introduce you to the lenses I've found most useful. Let's explore these lenses' design